Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Rahman Tutorials. In this video we are going to learn about Control and Coordination Chapter 7 Part 2 Class 10. Wonder how the squirrel was able to react so quickly and escape from the eagle claws? This video is about control and coordination in animal body, which includes nervous system and endocrine system. In this video, you will be able to learn about the endocrine system in animals. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the levels of control and coordination in animal body, define the endocrine system and compare it with the nervous system, define hormones and describe properties of hormones, explain the endocrine system in humans, explain the different hormones released and their functions, and explain the mechanism of hormone regulation. The animal body has two levels of control and coordination: nervous coordination and chemical coordination. The nervous system and the endocrine system act in the coordinated manner for a proper regulation of the body activities. The nervous system consists of the brain, the spinal cord, and nerves. The endocrine system consists of glands and hormones. There are important differences between the two systems. In the nervous system, electrical impulses are transmitted through the nerves, which are composed of neurons. A neuron acts fast but only for a short time. In the endocrine system, chemicals called hormones are secreted by the glands into the blood. The action of hormone is slow but lasts for a longer duration of time. The nervous system and the endocrine system are similar too. Both systems involve chemical substances. The nervous system releases neurotransmitters while the endocrine system secretes hormones. The endocrine system consists of glands called ductless glands because they empty their secretions directly into the blood. Hormones play a crucial role in the control and coordination of the body. Let's take a look at the general characteristics of hormones. They are secreted in minute quantities. They are poured directly into the blood and are carried by blood circulation. They may be steroids, proteins, peptides, amino acid derivatives. They act on target tissue or organ that are located far from the site of production. They are target specific. They are not stored and except thyroxine have high specificity. They are degraded by tissues and are excreted out by the liver through bile and the kidney into the urine. They bring about their characteristic effect on target cells by modifying cellular activities, and they act as chemical messengers between the nervous system and the body organs. For a better understanding of the endocrine system, let's look at the endocrine system in the human body. It consists of the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, the hypothalamus, the thyroid gland, the parathyroid gland, the thymus, the adrenal gland, the pancreas, the testes, and the ovary. We will look at the functions of each of these glands. The pituitary is a pea-shaped gland present at the base of the brain. It is connected to the ventral wall of the diencephalon. It secretes a large number of hormones that regulates organs as well as the other glands. Hence, it is also known as the master gland. One of the hormone it secretes is the growth hormones. This hormone controls the development of the bone and muscles. Hyposecretion of this hormone in childhood leads to dwarfism, while hypersecretion of the hormone can lead to gigantism. The hypothalamus is located in the forebrain. It is a part of the diencephalon. It links the nervous system and the endocrine system through the pituitary gland. The hypothalamus controls body temperature, hunger, thirst, fatigue, and sweating. Thyroid gland is located in the neck, ventral to the larynx in our body. It is known as the largest endocrine gland. It produces thyroxine, a hormone which regulates the carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism in the body so as to provide the best balance of growth. Hyposecretion of thyroxine leads to creatinine in children and myxedema in adults, whereas hypersecretion leads to exophthalmic goiter in adults. Iodine is essential for the synthesis of thyroxine. A deficiency of iodine in our diet may lead to goiter. One of the symptoms of the goiter is a swollen neck. Parathyroid gland are two pairs of small oval-shaped glands embedded on the dorsal surface of the thyroid gland in the neck. It secretes a parathyroid hormone or parathormone. Parathormone helps in the regulation of calcium and phosphate ions in bones and blood. Hyposecretion leads to parathyroid tetany and hypersecretion causes osteoporosis. The adrenal gland is located above the kidney, hence suprarenal glands. It secretes a hormone called adrenaline. This hormone, also called hormone of fight or flight or the emergency hormone, it prepares the body to face an emergency conditions of physical stress like danger, anger, and excitement. It is usually secreted in small amounts, but if secreted in large amounts when a person is under physical stress. It enables a greater supply of glucose in the blood to give us a lot of energy in a short span to either fight or flee from the stressful situation. The pancreas is located just below the stomach within the curve of duodenum and secretes hormones such as insulin, glucagon, somatostatin, and pancreatic polypeptide. It is the second largest endocrine gland. Insulin regulates the sugar level in our blood. If the insulin hormone is secreted in small amounts, the sugar level in our blood rises and causes a disease called diabetes mellitus. Hypersecretion of insulin causes hypoglycemia, sweating, and hunger. Diabetic patients may be given injections of insulin to control the sugar level in the blood. A pair of ovaries is the female sex organ that lies in the abdominal cavity. They produce two hormones, namely estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen controls the changes that occurs during puberty, like a feminine voice, soft skin, and mammary glands. Progesterone controls the uterine changes in the menstrual cycle and helps in the maintenance of pregnancy. A pair of testes is a male sex organ located in the scrotum, which is outside the abdomen. They produce the hormone testosterone. Testosterone controls the changes which occur during puberty, such as deeper voice, facial hair, and body hair. The pineal gland is located near the center of the brain, dorsal to the diencephalon. It produces the hormone melatonin. Melatonin affects reproductive development, modulation of wake and sleep patterns, and seasonal functions. The production of melatonin by pineal gland is stimulated by darkness and inhibited by daylight. The thymus is located in front of the heart in the upper part of the sternum. The thymus possesses a type of white blood cells known as T lymphocyte. These T lymphocytes govern cellular immunity, which means they help cells recognize and destroy invading bacteria, viruses, abnormal cell growth such as cancer and foreign tissue. We have looked at all the glands in the endocrine system, the hormones they secrete, and the effect of the hormone they have on the body. It is very important that hormones are secreted in precise quantities. Deficiency or an increase in secretion leads to harmful effects. Thus, the amount of hormone released are regulated by feedback mechanisms in the body. For example, if the sugar level in our body rises, this is detected by the cells of the pancreas, which respond by producing more insulin. As the blood sugar level falls, insulin secretion reduces. Plants are no exception, but unlike animals, plants don't have nerves for controlling and coordinating their activities. So, how do they respond to stimuli? Plants respond to stimuli with the help of chemical compounds secreted by cells whenever needed. In this part of the video, you will be able to learn about differentiate between plant movement due to growth and plant movements independent of growth. Explain different types of tropic movements in plants. Compare and contrast movement in multicellular organisms. Describe chemical coordination in plants. Describe plant hormone and their functions. Plants show two different types of movement, one independent of growth and the other dependent on growth. For example, the touch-me-not plant of the mimosa family falls up and droops when touched. The leaves of the sensitive plant moves quickly in response to touch. but this movement is not associated with any growth. However, when a seed germinates, the roots grow downwards while the stem grows upwards into the air. This movement of plant is the example of growth. Plant movement during growth of the plant can be directional or non-directional. If the movement occurs in direction of the stimulus, it is known as tropic movement. Environmental triggers such as light or gravity determine the direction of growth of a plant. The most common tropic movements are phototropism and geotropism. Growth towards the stimulus is a positive tropism, whereas growth away from a stimulus is a negative tropism. Shoots respond by bending towards light, thus showing positive phototropism. They grow away from the gravity, thus showing negative geotropism. Roots bend away from the light, indicating negative phototropism, and grow towards gravity, indicating positive geotropism. The pea plant climbs up other plants or fences by means of tendrils, which are sensitive to touch. When a plant comes in contact with any support, it twines itself around the object and clings to it. This is an example of thigmotropism. So, we see that plants respond to stimuli slowly by growing in a particular direction. As this growth is directional, it appears as if plant is moving. Hydrotropism is another growth response in which the direction is determined by the stimuli of water. Chemotropism is movement caused by chemical stimulus. The growth of pollen tube towards ovules is an example of chemotropism. Let's contrast the movement in plants with movement in animals. The movement of a sensitive plant in response to touch is very quick, whereas the movement of sunflower in response to day or night is quite slow. Growth-related movement in plants even slower, as such animal bodies also exhibit controlled directions to growth. Our arms and fingers grows in a certain direction and not haphazardly. Controlled movements can be slow or fast. For fast responses, the information transfers has to be quick. Electrical impulses are excellent means for that, but electrical impulses reach only those cells that are connected by nervous tissue and not every cell in an animal body. Cells also cannot continually create and transmit electrical impulses. Instead, chemical communication can be used. Stimulated cells releases hormones which diffuses all around the original cell. If other cells around have the means to detect this compound using receptor on their surfaces, then they would be able to recognize information and even transmit it. This is a slower process but can potentially reach all cells regardless of nervous connections. Plants have various hormones which helps to coordinate growth, development and responses to the environment. They are synthesized at places away from where they act and simply diffuses to the area of action. Let's consider the first example of sensitive plant responding to touch. They aren't have any nervous or muscle tissue to detect touch, so how do the leaf moves in response? Like animals, plants also use an electrical chemical means to convey this information cell to cell. That is why the point where has been touched differs from the part that actually moves. Here is an example of the mimosa plant. Like chemicals and movement of water in plant cells control the movement of leaf. This movement is independent of growth. Again, like animals, plant cells must change in shape in movement to happen. There is specialized protein found in animal muscle cells. Plant cells change shape by changing the amount of water in them, resulting in swelling or shrinking and therefore in changing shapes. This type of response is called nastic response. Unlike tropism, movement in plants do not occur in the direction of the stimulus. Some other examples are opening and closing of the flowers and the movement of the Venus flytrap. Let's study the different types of plant hormones. Auxins. Auxins are synthesized at the tip of the shoot and help the plant to grow. When one side of the plant is exposed to light, auxins diffuses towards the shady side of the shoot. This concentration of auxin stimulates the cell to grow longer on the side of the shoot which is away from the light. Thus, the plant appears to bend towards the light. They also promote cell enlargement and cell differentiation in plants. Gibberellins. They helps in the elongation of internal and play a role in the growth of a plant along with auxins. Cytokinins promotes cell division. They are present in large number in areas of rapid cell division such as fruits and seeds. They also promotes the opening of stomata. Plants also need signals to stop growing and these are provided by the hormone abscisic acid which inhibits the growth. Its effects includes wilting of leaves and also promotes the closing of stomata.